Oh, hi everybody, Kia here, back at you with another video. So I have some stuff from an estate sale I went to. This was my first ever estate sale that I went to all by myself. It was the second day, so it was very, very slim pickings. Uh, the majority of the stuff I would have loved to have purchased was big photos and big things that I had no way of sticking in my bicycle. Despite the fact I have a little trailer hitch for it now, which helped so I could get this stuff home. Um, but yeah, did not mean that I could take anything super big. Sadly, there was an item really, really would have wanted. It was a bear rug. Um, from what my friend at Phineas Street Vintage said, she went to it and she posted about it. And I was like, and she's like, oh, by the way, it's in Lowell. I'm like, sweet. So I went the second day. They just spaced it for the span of 2 weeks. We had a massive snowstorm on the day that they were going to do it the second day. So most of the people I got there were really mad because they got there super early and then they found out it was actually a second day of the sale. So they were really mad. A lot of them, though, they were like really like pulling everything out. They were going through it like mad. So it was crazy, hectic, and everything. The last estate sale I went to wasn't really that hectic because we got there decent time. I was with um, one of the people I do freelance work for, so we had a car, so it was a little easier. And then like I actually got the stuff that I wanted that I saw in the pictures because it was the very first day. So this one was more just grabbing things that were kind of interesting, kind of cool. The majority of stuff that I got was stuff that really didn't cost me anything in the long run because the way they did it. They had a half off sale, and then on top of that, like they just offered me stuff, so most of it was basically free. So these were the two expensive things, but of course marked really cheap now for what I got. Sadly, they're not perfect condition. They do have holes in them, but they're still beautiful. So I might see if I can find a jeweler or somebody who can fix them. But they are these Victorian chainmail purses. So this is one of the smaller ones. And I got this nice large one as well. Again, both of them do have damage. It's mainly in where they connect to the metal hinge. But either way, they're really cool pieces. And then most everything else is stuff that I kind of just salvaged, kind of just saved. So it was stuff that I felt was going to be tossed, nobody else would want, stuff like that. Um, Considering, especially, I got this little baby. Her arm fell off. It was partially ripped off, so it completely fell off. So I might put her arm in her lap when I display her or something. I don't know. Or I might use her arm for something else. But she's all dirty and filthy. I did wipe her down with a disinfectant cloth just to get rid of anything disinfected, but I didn't want to scrub her too much because I didn't want to get rid of the paint and whatever's on her because I kind of love the look of that, to be honest. So, because I love things chippy, I love things kind of worn and messed up. And then I got this guy. Same reason, just thought he was super cool. I don't know if anybody. I might look up and see if there's a way to um, get him to stand up a little bit more straight. So I'd love to get rid of this a little bit more, have him just stand up a little bit straighter, but he's still pretty cool nonetheless. He's this really weird squeaky toy, rubber toy of an elephant. But yeah, he's seen some better days. He's obviously like melted or something. So he's pretty cool. I'll probably still display him as is on the wall because he's just. I'm sorry, I find this stuff really interesting. Like I have a doll that's like completely melted that I'm in a frame that I got ages ago, and I love it. And then I got another little doll. I cleaned her up too for what I could. So she is this little plush doll, and she actually sings. And she sings Rockabye Baby. So super cute. I got this random pillowcase, like sack thing. Not entirely certain if it's like a long pillowcase or if it was like a laundry bag or something. I might use it for a craft project. I don't really know right now. It's probably going to be used to wrap up fragile stuff when I pack and continue packing stuff. And then later on, I will find a use for it, but it's pretty cool pattern. Then I got this really cool piano. It's a little toy piano. It's called Grand Piano Sweet Tunes by Strango. And I've seen pictures of these. They would have had legs. This one, the legs have clearly snapped off. I can see where the legs would have been. So I might give it legs, I might not. I might just use it as a kind of prop to display things. I'm kind of thinking I might display a doll on top of this and just use it to make that doll rise a little bit higher. So who knows what I'm going to do with this, but it's really cool. It does work as well, so pretty cool. I did clean this up with the disinfectant cloth so that it is disinfected, but still looks pretty like rustic and crazy. I got this beautiful old flower arrangement in this beautiful glass case. It does open up. There's a little hinge. So I hate this styrofoam in here. I absolutely hate that, but I love the plants that are in here. So what I totally want to do is try to possibly put a skull in here and then put the flowers around the skull. I might have to get rid of some of them and use those in another project, but it's just super cool. I loved it. It's a nice, decent size. It's beautiful made, and there's no damage to the glass or anything. The flowers appear to be in pretty great shape as well. So the dried flowers in here, so it's really just replace that green nasty foam piece with a skull or bones or something more attractive and appealing to me, but it's still super cool. So love that. Other items that were pretty much free but were pretty cool was this paddle ball. So you can't really see it super well, sadly it's faded, but it's still pretty cool. You can actually see it a decent amount. It doesn't have its ball attached to it anymore, but I thought it was a pretty cool piece of old advertisement. So it says this Bosco bat and ball given free with each 12 ounce or 20 ounce jar. Real chocolate malt flavor, delicious. Bosco helps you grow bigger, stronger. Bosco is patented in U.S. and then it says something. Like I thought it was just a cool piece of old advertisement. Then I saw a bunch of different pieces of old hats. Sadly, most of them were completely destroyed, just slivers. This one I did decide to just snag because all the feathers are still on it. They're still pretty much good. They've since started falling off, so I'm going to quickly try to attach those back on with hot glue gun or super glue because they are starting to fall off, but I caught them before because most of the other ones, this was already off, so it was completely gone. So I will try to use that for something. Don't know what kind of craft project I'm going to use it for. So I'm going to just save that. I got this old leather satchel. Sadly, the straps broke. These straps were intact. They broke as I was picking it up to get home. So it was just like that. So I was actually able to use that strap. The other strap on the side was broken. So I took that off already. But it's still pretty nice. So I'm hoping I can get this patched up. I might just remove this, like cut these off for now and just use this as like storage for stuff because it is a decent sized. Another item I got, which was one of my favorite items besides half the pictures I got, because the rest of them are photography stuff, which I love. But this is another really cool one. It is a muff. So, and I do not feel any holes in here. The fabric's actually really good condition. This is the only fur piece I found that wasn't absolutely destroyed. It is a little beat up and dirty, so I'm going to try and figure out how to clean this the best I can. But it's still pretty cool, this old fur muff. So I'm doing photography and I want to do like an antique-y kind of look. This is probably going to be a perfect little statement piece for that. I like to do more like art, kind of vintage style photography with actual models eventually. It even has its little tortoiseshell plastic hook. So that was it for like that kind of stuff. And then the rest of it was all photos that I saved. I just happened upon like a bunch of old photos that were on a desk that people were just shoving aside. And so I snagged like all of them. I just shoved them all into my bag. And I'm glad I did because I got some really, really cool pieces in here. So this one is sadly the only one that's like really beat up. It was probably attached to an album because it does have black residue on the back. But it is these two boys and this dude, and they're showing off their catch of squirrels and other animals that they have hunted. So these two guys and these two boys up there. So I'm going to try and put this in a nice frame and hold it together and make sure it doesn't get destroyed any more than it is. And then I got a whole bunch of other pictures, most likely of the family that lived in the house. So this one here, the gentleman. So some of them, they are still in their full case. Absolutely gorgeous. Some of them, they are beat up. Luckily, like this one had a little sheet around it, so she was not too beat up. So I'm keeping her in this until I have a frame around her. But she is absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully my camera's. And then these ones had like this over it, so they were more protected. I have two that are like this style. Not next to each other, of course. That'd make it easy. It's a little boy. Got this one here. This one's one of my favorites. It's another hunting scene with the dogs and three gentlemen. And it looks like a bunch of birds this time. But I love this one. It's faded but super awesome. Still has this beautiful frame on it. It's actually in relatively really great condition. So I can't wait to put this one in a little frame and hang it. Find a spot for it because it is gorgeous. I'm in love with this one. One of my favorites of all time. At least for this group of photos. I think it's one of my favorites too. I don't really have any hunting photos. So, really cool. Got this one, which is protected by the plastic again. I think I have another version of this one too. This is the same gentleman in a lot of the photos. I got that one, which matches the other one. That's plastic has come off. I found this Witchell double tape liner chart. A 1N 30-yard double take sinking line, so just a little thing I'm going to use for art projects probably. And then I got this really cool like itinerary for travel. It's Fredericton to Boston by Air Canada, and it's a little says like what plane they went on and everything. So I think that was really cool. A little find that just happened to be in this mix. Got this little boy, this wonderful one of this little girl. Super cute. This one here, it's a little postcard, and I love the dog moved, and of course the kids and the kid and mom and dad, and they look so wonderful. It says, "Did you ever see anyone that looks like this? Question. With love, Aunt Gemis or something." And it does have names in the back. And then this is obviously the same gentleman, different shots. I think this is the one that I have a duplicate of. So here's another one. So all obviously probably family photos. So I'm glad I could save them because I would have hated them to end up in like a dumpster because everybody else was just not picking them up. They were like, I guess, too damaged for them. They didn't want to give them a chance, so they just kept pushing them aside. So I was watching people just shove them aside, so I grabbed them and threw them in my bag. This one, the backing kind of came off, but just enough of it, so I'm going to try and reattach that. It's a nice frame with hanging, and it is absolutely lovely. It is water stained, but I still think she is absolutely lovely. It is this woman, and it says, "Lovingly yours, Ruth A. Lawson," or something. I can't exactly make out the name, but she is lovely. So I was happy to save those little items. So yeah, most of the stuff from this estate sale was just stuff that I basically got for free and just kind of saved because I didn't want to see it end up in a trash bin, and I thought I could have use for it and be able to make something of it. So it was because it was all stuff that everything else that I was like looking at that I was like, I kind of want that, but I don't know. Was very quickly like I was reached over and somebody else would grab it. So I'd be like, okay, never mind. So because they were fighting over stuff basically, because I guess they were just desperate to find at least something, because they had decided to go to that estate sale, because the pictures made it look like a collector's absolute dream, which in reality it really was a collector's dream. Just unfortunately, it was day 2, and the advertisement, I guess, on the website didn't specify that. It acted like it was 1-day sale, so everybody thought they would have a chance at the stuff that was shown in the photos. I was like one of the few people that actually knew it was the second day because I heard about it through a friend and not through the actual like estate sale website. But so it's still really cool. It was an interesting experience to ride around in the cold because I don't have a car. So I ended up finding a local little diner and getting some pancakes while I waited and bumming their heat. So it was an interesting experience. But I love the photos that I got. Those are my favorite things besides the little chainmail purses. The photos are my absolute favorite items that I got. The rest of them are things that are really cool. They're cool, but there's going to be like little display pieces and stuff like that. But yeah, I love the photos. I'm glad I snagged those. I just again grabbed. They were just a whole handful of them. So I'm guessing like the first day somebody went through photos. They picked out the ones that were really nice, and the ones that they wanted, and then just dumped those ones aside. So I'm glad I could save them. But it was an interesting experience for my second ever estate sale. I thought it was crazy and hectic, but I thought it was awesome. But I wasn't looking for anything like super valuable. I was looking to save things that were going to be overlooked anyway. And I love the house itself. The house was so awkward and like obviously built like way back in the day, with skinny little stairs and really awkward spaces. But I loved it, and I was like, oh, if I could buy this house and fix it up and like keep it just as awkward and everything, but like just update it a little bit. It was such a cool house. So it was really cool. Little house. I'm sad I didn't get pictures of the house. I was trying to, but there's so many people running up and down, grabbing things and rushing down with like furniture and other things. So that's really all that was left. So, some of the bigger things. So I really wish I could have gotten like really good pictures of like the house, because it was absolutely gorgeous house. It was sad to see it kind of looking tattered and worn and abandoned, especially since most of the stuff had been emptied out pretty well for the first day, obviously. But it was a cool experience, so I enjoyed it. So thank you for watching, and as always, peace out.